Hey there, I'm Jonny May from Piano with Jonny, and today I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about the key of G major. We're going to start with the G major scale. I'm going to teach you the fingering in the right hand. I'm going to teach you the G major scale with the fingering in the left hand. We're going to talk about playing the G major scale in multiple octaves and the best fingering to do so, and I'm going to show you some of my tricks to being able to play it very smoothly. We're going to do that in the right hand, the left hand, and then I'm going to teach you the most common chords in the key of G major. We call these diatonic chords, and they're basically all of the chords that belong in the key of G major, okay? And you're going to find these in lots of popular songs. Then we're going to talk about the most common chord progressions, and I'm going to teach you 4 of what I consider the most common chord progressions, so that after this lesson you'll start to be able to play very well in the key of G major. And then at the end of the lesson I'm going to teach you an original tune called Johnny's Lullaby, which is in the key of G major. Let me play this song for you, but you're going to learn it just like this by the end of the lesson. So it's a super easy song and it's a lot of fun. Now in this preview course, you're going to learn a portion of the lesson, and you can find the full-length lesson at pianowithjonny.com. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's get started. And first we're going to talk about the G major scale. And I always like to teach my students the scale first, because when you're playing a song in the key of G major, most of the melody notes from the song use notes from this scale, and most of the chords that you're going to use in the key of G major come from this scale. And so in a sense, this scale is the raw material that you really need to know in order to be very proficient in the key of G major. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the G major scale in the right hand. This is super simple. Here's how the G major scale sounds. That is the G major scale in the right hand. So go ahead and play along with me. This red dot here is on middle C. That's right in the middle of your keyboard, and we're at the G just above it here. So we're going to go ahead and use our thumb on the G, and here's the way it works. We're going to go thumb on the G, 2 on the A. This is finger 2, our index finger. Finger 3 is going to be on the B. Okay, and you should be playing along with me here, okay? Now thumb is going to cross under on the C. Okay, this is very important. This crossing under technique allows our hand to maneuver up the keyboard, okay? So again, we're going to go thumb, index, middle, and then we're going to go thumb on the C, okay? Really, really important, okay? Now from here, it's very simple. We just walk up the scale, and that's going to be a D with our index finger. That's going to be an E with our middle finger, F sharp and G. Okay? Now you just played a G major scale. This is like the most important scale. If you're in the key of G, you gotta know the G major scale. If you want to improvise, if you want to jam, you gotta know these notes. Okay? One more time. Let's play together. Here we go. G, A, B cross under to C, and then D, E, F sharp, and G. Now, if you read sheet music, we have the sheet music right here. We've got all of the notes of the G major scale, and we have the fingering above. Finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 1. So this is a reference. However, if you don't read sheet music, that is okay. I'm going to be explaining all these topics as we go, because my philosophy as a teacher is to get you away from the sheet music, to really make music personal and to internalize the music as much as possible. Okay? So let's do it once more, and this time we're going to take the scale down. Here we go, starting on G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Now, we're going to take this scale down. Okay, let's start from the G. G, F sharp, E, D, C. That's going to be all 5 fingers. And now here's the magic. We're going to cross over finger 3 to B, A, and G. See what we did there? So this is called a crossing over technique, and we use this whenever we're coming down the keyboard, and this allows us to move down the keyboard in a very smooth sort of manner, okay? So just practice that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm saying the finger numbers here, and then we're going to cross over with our finger 3. That's our 3rd finger, finger 2, and finger 1, okay? That is the G major scale, and I really recommend that you pause the video and just practice this scale going up and going down, okay? So here's what it sounds like going up and down. Cross under to the thumb, and then take it down. Super simple, okay? That's it, that's the G major scale. And what I would encourage you to do is practice this multiple times, okay? And try to speed it up. Try to get it about here. That's a good tempo. Once you get it there, speed it up even more. See how this works? And you can continually go faster. And you can just work it up and work it down, okay? Now, you might be asking, what is a good goal in terms of a tempo, speed? It really comes down to how good you want to be at playing the scale. If you just want to sort of know the basics of the scale, this is kind of a fine tempo, but if you want to be able to play the scale in a piece of music, you probably want to have it about here, because a lot of music will be faster like that, okay? So that's the G major scale in the right hand. I do want to move on here to the left hand G major scale. It's the same notes, just slightly different fingering, okay? Check out the G major scale in the left hand. Pretty simple, okay? So go ahead and play along with me. We're going to start on the G just below middle C. This is our pinky on G, okay? And we're just going to basically walk all the fingers up. G, A, B, C, D, E, and this is where the magic happens. We got to cross over there to the E, okay? So once more, we walk up the scale, okay? And then we cross over middle finger to E, and then we have an F sharp, and then G. You see how that works? One more time with me. Here we go, starting on the bottom. G, A, B, C, D, E with the middle finger, F sharp, and G. Okay, let's go ahead and take this scale down, okay? We're gonna go G, this is the F sharp, middle finger on E, and now here's the really important part. You wanna cross under your thumb to the D, okay? Really important to get that crossover point. Let's do that again. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, and G. Okay, let's go ahead and play this scale up and down. We're going to go nice and slowly. G, A, B, C, D, cross over middle finger to E, F sharp, and G, and now let's take it down. Under the middle finger, cross that thumb under. You want to kind of guide that hand to the left, right? So we can get to that D, and then our thumb is right there, C, B, A, and G. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the left hand here. You can just practice one octave coming up and down. Okay, and the trick, again, I'm going to keep saying this, the trick with being able to play scales is that crossing over and crossing under technique, okay? And something that I recommend to help this sort of be a smooth process is as you're playing the scale up, you're sort of leaning the wrist up to where that third finger now is above that E, okay? And the same thing coming down. As you're coming down, lean that wrist down, and then your thumb is there. Okay, see how I'm sort of leaning the wrist, and then bam, my thumb is there on the D. Super, super important, okay? And just like we did with the right hand scale, pause the video and just work on this, okay? You're gonna struggle a little bit with crossing over and under, but that's okay. That's part of learning, that's part of growing, and this is a new technique, okay? And and then start speeding it up, right? And then a little faster. And a little faster. Okay, so you can really start to speed this up, okay? Really, really important here. Now, I do want to talk about the key of G major and sort of what makes G a unique key, right? Because we have 12 different keys at the piano, right? Right? Each of these is a different key. And what makes the key of G special? What makes it unique? Well, you can think of the key of G as being all white notes with an F sharp. Okay? And I know on the screen you see a G flat here, but it's the same thing. We call it an F sharp in the key of G major. Okay? So once again, the key of G, it's all white notes with an F sharp. Okay, that's sort of the signature, if you will, of the key. If the key of G were a person and it were to sign its signature that's saying, this is me, it would say F sharp. That's my sort of signature. Okay, in fact, we call this a key signature in music. And if you're looking here at the sheet music notation, we've got this sharp here on the treble staff. Okay, and this sharp is on the top line, which is an F. Okay? And so anytime you're playing music and you see this sharp on the top line, that indicates that you're in the key of G major, or the key of G major. If there are more than this sharp, if you see like 2 or 3 or 4 sharps, that means you're in a different key. But anytime you see music and you can see that one sharp, it will always be on the top line of the treble clef. Then that means it's the key of G major. Okay? So that's kind of how we like to think of it. And we also have the fingering here in the left hand as well, starting on the finger 5, that's our pinky, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. We have that listed here for you, okay? So go ahead, pause the video, really make sure you understand these scales, because what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do the G major scale in multiple octaves. I'm gonna teach you how to play the G scale in 2 octaves, but with this technique, you'll actually be able to play the G major scale in multiple octaves, which is very important to be able to do at the piano. You want to be able to play this scale at any point on the piano in the low, mid, and high range. So great job with this so far. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on now to 2 octaves. Hey, thanks for watching this preview course, and you can find the full-length lesson at pianowithjonny.com. And if you enjoyed this lesson, we have lots of other lessons where you can learn your keys. Not only are you going to learn music theory, but you can also learn other styles like jazz, blues, boogie-woogie, pop, rock, and so many other styles. And also be sure to check out the Piano with Jonny membership. This gives you access to all of the video courses, a huge selection of sheet music. We do live events every month. We have a live Q&A and a live workshop where you can interact with me and ask me questions during the lesson. And we have an amazing community of piano players. So be sure to check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.